Hello class, my name is Debbie Grayman. Today I'm going to be talking to you about one of my favorite topics, how to make shortbread cookies. I'm going to start by giving you a brief history about shortbread cookies, and then I will tell you about the ingredients and how to bake them. And lastly, I'll suggest some ideas for enjoying the cookies with your friends and family. How many of you in the audience knew that in 1736, Mary, Queen of Scots, sat in her parlor in the afternoon eating shortbread cookies? Well, I didn't know either, so don't feel bad. According to thenibble.com, in an article about the history of shortbread cookies, they said that the first printable recipe for shortbread was in 1736 and came from a Scottish lady by the name of Mrs. McClintock. Somehow, Mrs. McClintock's recipe got into the hands of Mary, Queen of Scots' French chefs. Now, they changed the recipe a little bit. They added a lot more butter to the dough. And what that did was made it crumbly, and therefore crumbly meant short back in the day. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you about how simple it is to make these and what ingredients you need and the time frame so that you'll be able to make them on your own. First, I used the smaller bowl for 1 cup of softened butter, 1/2 cup of confectioner's sugar, and 1 teaspoon of either vanilla or lemon extract, or you can use a different flavor, whatever you like. And then I'm going to take a hand mixer like this, and I'm going to cream it all together. And then I'm going to take a second bowl, and I'm going to use my dry ingredients, 2 cups of regular white flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped rosemary. Then I'm going to mix all of those ingredients together, and I'll slowly combine and mix them with my creamed sugar and butter. When I'm finished completely mixing, then I'm going to take the dough in my hand and I'm going to roll it, and I'm going to wrap it in cellophane, and I'm going to have to refrigerate it for a couple of hours because the butter does make it really hard to work with. It needs to be a little bit stiffer so you can cut it into slices. After it's been refrigerated, I'm going to take it out and I'm going to slice it up, and I'm going to put it on my cookie sheet, and I'm going to bake the cookies for 11 minutes at a temperature of 350. And here's what the final product should look like. Now, I sometimes roll the dough in lavender sugar, which really adds a nice touch to the cookie, but that's optional. You don't have to do that. So you can see how easy it is. Literally, it takes about 10 minutes to whip up the dough. The longest part is just having to refrigerate. So next, after I've got this beautiful plate of cookies, I'm going to invite my family or friends over, and we'll usually have these for dessert with a nice cup of tea, or I'll have my girlfriends over and we'll watch a favorite Netflix movie and have a glass of wine or sherry with the cookies. Or I've also made dozens of these, packaged them up, sold them, and then given the proceeds to my favorite charity. So these are all ideas that all of you out there could use when you make your cookies. Now, with all that said, I've gone over the history that we know that Mary, Queen of Scots, enjoyed these in the afternoons in her parlor, and that these cookies were special. the ordinary people did not eat these. They only had them on special occasions like a wedding. And then I've given you the ingredients and the measurements so that you can bake them at your home. And lastly, I've suggested different ways to enjoy these cookies. And I hope that you found this informative, and I want to thank you very much.